Evening, boys and girls. I've arrived at my first destination. Yes. Well, technically it's my second, but the collection was just around the corner and this seat's broken again. I hate this vehicle. I absolutely detest this particular vehicle because it's got a patent part door mirror. So, oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, I just nearly sneezed. Alright, it's got a patent part door mirror, so it doesn't fit perfectly. So you've got to have the mirrors kind of pointed as far out as possible, and they're still not quite where you want them to be, so you've got to keep opening the window and pushing them out. I mean the actual door mirror housing itself. The backrest, you have to lift it. There's the latch lever to move it forward and backwards. You have to pump the crap out of that to get it to lock in again. This entire fleet is getting to the point where it needs to be changed. We drive vehicles with like 3 million kilometers and perfectly fine. You guys probably have slightly different how can I say this? Slightly different servicing ideas. You know, and chances are those vehicles are driven between maybe 1, 2 or 3 drivers. These vehicles probably had, in the last 5 days, and probably 11 different drivers in it. So, you know, gets a bit beaten up. But oh dear, it's a reasonable day actually. I'm in Milton Keynes at the minute, and then I've got to go just outside of Nuneaton. Was supposed to be going up to the Manchester thing, but supposedly I'm not doing that. I might be going down into Southall. You know, Southall in London. That's the other thing. All that emission stuff is changing. I think it's next year, isn't it? 2019. So these vehicles don't meet it, and our depot is on the outskirts. You know, and we're always going into 406 and inside the 406. So might have to change just because of the emissions changes. So you know. But whatever, it is what it is, and it ain't what you think. But yes, it's not a bad day. It's my last day of the week. I should have recorded something yesterday, but I didn't, because it was raining constantly. And it's all well and good, yeah, rain footage, okay, drive along in the rain, but it's the rain hitting the windshield when you try to talk, and the wipers constantly going. So if I speed it up, it's just ding 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 through the entire footage. It's irritating. I find it very annoying. It's aggravating that I didn't, because I went down some decent country lanes in Kent. If it hadn't have been raining, obviously I'd have bung the cameras on and everything, but raining, I was annoyed. I was having to get in and out of the vehicle constantly. I just didn't want to. But I'm definitely going to have to rejig how I do my uploads, because even if I build up another 3 weeks worth of uploads, that means I'm going to have to stop uploading for at least a couple more weeks, and then do a bit of training here, do a bit there, running behind schedule that day so I don't have time to set the cameras up, or it's huzzing it down with rain or something like that, and eventually I catch it back up again. So I'm going to have to toy around with how I do my uploads. I'm going to try all things, so it'll be a bit odd until I get into my routine, and once I've figured out which one works, whether it's once every other day, once every third day, whatever. Once I've figured out what I can realistically keep up with and I can balance so that it's regular again, you know, then I'll let you know. But I'm going to be toying around with things at the moment, so please bear with me. Another thing is, ooh, I hit the wrong part of my tongue. Anyway, another thing, shut up. Another thing you guys have said is, am I going to go live on YouTube at any point? Well, I've got over 2,500 subscribers now, which is quite impressive considering the crap I put out. So I might actually have to start looking into doing that, going live. I've got, what is it? I've just, hold on, let me just do the old refresh. There we go. I've got 2,504 subscribers. There we go. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'll have to look into doing that because I have no clue. None. And I don't really know when I'm going to do it. I don't really know when I'm going to have time to do it. Because of course I've got to try and time it, because if I do it in the middle of the day, most of you will be at work or school or whatever it is you do. And if I try and do it in the evening, well, Bert's going to be at home, or it's going to be something that we've got to get done. So I'll have to have a think about this. I'll have to try and figure it out. But yeah, and I've got to figure a way of doing it so that I can actually see what you guys are saying. Because if I do it with my phone, I ain't going to see what you guys are typing. So that means I've got to try and figure it out with a laptop. So I'm going to have a camera set up for that, because the camera on the laptop is probably doable, but could be better, you know. So I'll have to figure out of that one. I'm just thinking about all the stuff I've got to do. Oh, it's all the time. But anyway, whatever. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to respond to some messages that I have, probably post a little bit on Twitter or Facebook, wait for them to offload me, because I'm still on a green light, and then tally-ho to a place just outside of Nuneaton. This has been fun so far. It's been going absolutely mad. Now, some of you have asked what this thing is for. I can't remember whether I ever actually covered it. That's a microphone for your hands-free stuff, so you can do your Bluetooth gubbins. There you go, I answered it. But I got my delivery done, Milton Keynes, obviously, as you saw. Then I went off to the place just outside Nuneaton, and my God, I have never been unloaded so goddamn quick. Probably because it's bank holiday. But there was 7. Their pump truck, their electric truck things can carry. I think it's €3. Yeah, it's €3 because it was all Euro pallets. And there were 7 of them, and I only had a third of a load. Went in, gave my paperwork in, walked back. You literally, you could count in nanoseconds how long it took them to unload me. So I thought, lovely, I shall leave. And I was told when I phoned to go straight back to the yard. Fair enough, no worries. I stopped in, had a dirty McDonald's on the way back. My eye with orange juice on my finger. Ooh, that smarts. Ooh, that stings. Stupid bastard. But anyway, had me dirty little McDonald's and cracked back. Now, I've gone all the way up, obviously A5, come back down onto the M1, trundling along. Stopped in at, I think it was Watford Gap. Is it Watford Gap? Well, one of them, whatever. And I've got to wait for a minute, so and get all the way down the M25, sit in the traffic, go all the way through, well, the M1 traffic I should say, sorry, because it was carnage round Luton, as is always the case. You know, so smart motorways. Yeah, I've worked it out, it's just smart motorways. 40, 60, 40, 60, 40, 60. Nobody knows what to do. So they just slam on, it's like, whoo. But I get all the way down, go around the M25, and the old phone goes off. So of course you got the old diggle diggle diggle, and give it the old answer. It's really weird in these things. If you've never experienced it before, I suppose it's like a car, but just louder. Because the voice is, yeah, it's loud in a truck. Because obviously the sound system has to be slightly more beefier in a truck anyway. But anyway, I answered it, and you're supposed to be going to so and so. Why didn't you phone before you left? I did. I phoned before I left. Now I'm nearly at the A10. The yard I'm going back to is in Waltham Cross. If anybody knows the area, the A10 junction is essentially Waltham Cross. So I'm literally at the A10. And I've got to come all the way back round to Southall, where I am now. I did phone. I was told to come straight back. And this bastard thing has developed a new fault. I'll just turn the keys on. Let it do all its gubbins, let it go through everything. Just return it to ride height. There you go. Suspension malfunction. So something's gone wrong. Now, obviously, what I shall do, as I always do, so you know, why is it facing me? Right. So, as you know that I am not lying to you. There you go. Yeah, suspension malfunction. So, it won't go to normal ride height, it won't raise, it won't lower, it won't do a goddamn thing. But the funny thing is, every so often, it goes out. Because obviously there's a sensor gone somewhere. And so when it goes out, I quickly hit the return to ride height button, just down there. And you see it go down from 100 back to ride height. It's like, bloody hell. Because it's not judging where it is, so it's just adjusting itself and staying there. So this is going off the road when it gets back. Yeah. But I couldn't believe that. Literally all the way back to the yard, I'm thinking, excellent, because it's my last day. And it's, you're supposed to be going to Southall to do a collection. No, I'm not. I phoned to make sure. Whoa. It's like, oh, well, you know, I came in at 6, I didn't realise. Can you go and do it? It's not a problem. I mean, crikey, from, well, the camera Yeah, that was another tip manoeuvre, by the way. Stopped in for me break, buggered off to McDonald's, and I thought, everyone is everywhere. It's bank holiday, isn't it? I've never seen men queuing for the cubicles in the toilets before, but other than at football games and stuff like that, never seen it. And they're bloody everywhere. And so I just thought, you know what, sod it, I'll do the dips and go and get me McDonald's, and I'll just eat it in. I was going to come back to the unit and do something, but I thought, sod it, I'll just eat it in the McDonald's and just have some time away from the cab, you know? Whilst I was away, munching me old McDonald's, I left the forward-facing recording. So it recorded sitting in the parking space for about 50 minutes. So, consequently, it ran out of room to record footage. But, as I was saying, from Waltham Cross to Southall, it's not the end of the world. Because you nip down the A10 to 406, round the 406 to Hanger Lane, onto the 40, up the 40 to the 4127, crack down the 4127, at the end of it turn left, go under the bridge, back on yourself, and you're basically where you need to be. So it's easy enough. It's just really aggravating because I left I forgot to turn it off. I left the forward-facing recording whilst I was in McDonald's. So you have no London footage today, I'm afraid. No 406 footage, and it's bank holiday, so there's quite a few vehicles about, a few people doing some silly things. But yeah, I'm waiting for one pallet. One pallet. This is actually on the Class 2 route, because most of the London stuff our guys do, our company does, is all for the Class 2 drivers, you know, multi-collection and all that kind of stuff. And this is one of the last ones they do coming back. But the Class 2 guy was fully loaded, so he couldn't pick up the one pallet. So I've come thundering down in the Class 1 for one pallet. It's annoying because I'm going home after this. I know I was going home when I got back to base anyway. Again, bank holiday, it's not really that busy on a bank holiday. Most places aren't open, to be fair. And that freaking close to going home. Everything in there starts ringing, so it's like, hello. It's like, yeah, can you go and do the collection in Southall? I nearly keep saying the name of the place. Yeah, can you go do the collection in Southall? I was told I wasn't doing that. Oh, you should have rung before you left. I did. I can't exactly ring you whilst I'm driving. You know, well, you do have a menu on this thing, but most of the buttons on these steering wheels now, this is virtually, what's this one? 982,070.6 kilometres. So most of the buttons on the steering wheel are knackered anyway. So you can't really go through the menu unless you thump, thump, thump. And when you're doing about 56 miles an hour, you don't want to start thumping the steering wheel in case you go that way. So, yeah, it's, yeah, go down and do this. So now I'm sitting here for one pallet before my 2 days off. Come on! The really annoying thing is, and I discovered this much to my horror last time I came down here, last week I think it was. Yeah, I think it was last week. I know I got footage of doing some London collections because I did 3, and this was one of them. And came down here and I turned in. You know, I turned it in and I drove down. Well, there is a reason why this location is a Class 2 location, as I found out. There is a Waitrose guy pulling out at the moment, there's an NFT guy behind me, and a Cardo coming here. and they all come in twin axle shorter trailers. Well, I've got a triaxle full size trailer. Guess what you can't do in their turning circle at the bottom of the yard? So after a rather large amount, what the hell is he doing? He's just come out and gone back in. Bloody weirdo. After a large amount of them having to move stuff around in their yard, I got round, and you know, once you've been driving a HGV for long enough, there is a certain point that you don't really want to go past when you're jackknifing in a tight area, when you turn in on what you could refer to as a jackknife. And that is a point where the entire vehicle, as you're trying to move it, starts doing that. Because you are kind of right on that kind of, say that's the unit, you are kind of right on that edge of just going, doink! And I was lines were stretched, I was completely, I'd had to reverse and turn and reverse and turn, and it was, every time I went to move, it was probably like, oh God, no! And I did do a Clarkson at one point. I just thought, well, I've got to go. He's telling me I've got like that much room, and I just went power and pulled myself round. But yeah, that was mildly annoying, because what we have to do when we turn up in our class ones, because they're full sizes, is we have to we let the guy behind us go in. In this instant, it's the NFT guy, because he's the shorter trailer, twin axle. And we then reverse into the entrance, open the doors. They put one pallet on at the rear end. I put a strap around it, because he's only a small one anyway. I put a strap around it and then bugger off. Yeah. So that was mildly frustrating when I've been here before. That's the funny thing. I've been here for when I worked for Sainsbury's. So I know what it's like. Oh. He wants me to reverse. Do you wanna watch me do a little reverse manoeuvre, ladies and gentlemen? Right. Fucking turn me lights on, you silly bastard. Right, first of all, I'm gonna pull away from the curb. Yes. Otherwise I'm gonna up the blinking curb. Right. Oh. Got to turn my bleeps on. I don't bother with hazard lights, the ticking pisses me off. Right. Shall we? There we go. He's already got the pallet there, look at that! Ooh. Right, this is only going to take a couple of moments. That's my pallet done. Pick that up, fridge is about to turn on, lovely jubbly. So that's that, I'm going to go back, drop this off, end my day, everyone's a bloody winner. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. As always, the links to everything are down below in the description. I'll see you in the next one, which will most probably be next week now, because I've got the next 2 days off, so I get to go home and do nothing. Better just send them a text letting them know I'm leaving. There we go. See you later, guys. Take care.